morning started out ordinary, until an alarm shattered the stillness. In a heartbeat, Nick and his crew were on the move, grabbing their gear and sprinting toward the fields. No one spoke. Only sharp, determined glances passed between them as their boots pounded the earth, closing in on the source of trouble. When they arrived, the enemy was nowhere in sight. Only the telltale signs remained. Deep footprints pressed into the dirt, stalks bent and broken in their wake. Could it track down the culprit before more damage was done? What came next would be less a chase than an all-out battle. If you want to witness every twist and turn of the hunt, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Before dawn, the Italian wetlands lay silent, broken only by the soft crunch of footsteps tracking faint signs. 15 minutes in, a gunshot split the air. The hunt had begun. The boar bolted, but Nick's swift grip ended its escape. With the first catch secured, the team moved to the field's edge. From the thicket ahead, a dark shape burst forth, charging straight into chaos. But today, Nick was ready. The crack of a rifle split the air, and in a heartbeat, the beast hit the ground. Another danger ended by the sure aim of a seasoned hunter. Before he could even confirm the kill, a familiar noise rose from somewhere deep in the field, just a few hundred yards away. Without a second thought, he took off running, every stride fueled by urgency, his eyes sweeping the terrain with razor-sharp focus. He stopped, lifted his rifle, and found a wild boar squarely in his sights. A sharp crack split the air, and the shot hit true. The animal dropped hard to his right. Across the field, while Nick was locked in his own fight, James spotted movement. Through the open patch ahead, a boar burst into view, tearing forward as if chased by an invisible predator. Without giving it a second's chance, James pulled the trigger. The animal crumpled into the sun-baked grass. The immediate threat was over, but the hunt was far from finished. The team pushed on toward Nick's family orchard, moving in silence until they reached their destination. Without a word, each man slipped into cover, vanishing into the landscape. Rifles in hand, they waited, still and focused. 20 long minutes under the scorching sun stretched their patience thin. Then, at last, Nick saw his chance. One perfectly placed shot, and the beast's every path to freedom was gone. What's your take on that shot? Let me know in the comments. Rain began to fall, but the hunters kept moving, step by deliberate step. Nick and his team never wavered, their concentration sharpening even as the sound of a well-placed shot. Then, in a flash, a wild boar burst across their path, only to be caught in Nick's unyielding sights. .1 crisp shot rang out, dropping the beast in its tracks. The deadly tusks that could have torn through the fertile fields lay still. The threat ended in an instant. Across these fertile lands, wild boars strike without mercy, destroying millions of dollars worth of crops in just one night. Refusing to stand by, the hunters pushed deep into the wilderness, determined to track the beasts to their very strongholds. But will they have what it takes to put an end to the threat? Up next, heart-pounding encounters and high-stakes ambushes that will keep you locked in. Stick around until the very end and decide for yourself which moment takes the crown. On a hillside thick with brush, the hunting team fanned out quickly, locking the area down. From a choke point, a sharpshooter caught sight of a wild boar's silhouette slipping from the trees. Without hesitation, gunfire erupted. The clean, decisive shot dropped the animal and signaled the start of the action to come. On the hill's western slope, Nick scanned the opposite ridge through his scope. Within minutes, another boar emerged, weaving through tall grass in a bid to vanish back into cover. Nick found his angle and squeezed the trigger. The boar dropped into the grass, its escape cut short, a flawless shot that ended the hidden threat in an instant. Meanwhile, in another corner of the hillside, a surprise close-range encounter was taking shape. Following faint tracks, a hunter closed in, only to spot a boar tucked beneath thick brush. In a split second, he opened fire. The rapid shots gave the animal no time to react. The beast dropped in the very spot it thought was safe. Moments later, gunfire erupted from every direction, marking the end of multiple threats and restoring calm to the land. Deep in a Hungarian thicket, John's team moved in to stop the rampage of the destructive herd. As soon as they arrived, the hunters fanned out, following the faintest signs of movement. It didn't take long before they spotted a group of wild boars. casually foraging, completely unaware they had stepped straight into the crosshairs. Waiting for the right second, the hunter squeezed the trigger. 2 boars dropped instantly, while a third bolted for cover. Refusing to let it slip away, he tracked its escape route and relayed the position to his team. The call came through John's radio, and he moved fast to intercept. Seconds later, the boar lumbered into view. John didn't hesitate. A single shot tore through the air, dropping the animal where it stood. This time, there was no escape. Another win was added to the team's growing tally. From the far side of the field, the sharp bark of hunting dogs rang out, warning of an incoming target. The shooter steadied himself, rifle poised, eyes fixed on where the prey would break cover. Less than a minute later, the boar burst into view, sprinting hard toward the safety of the thickets. One clean, decisive shot dropped it in its tracks, just steps from freedom. Hunting isn't just about the thrill of the chase, it's about protecting the land, preserving the balance of nature, and respecting the game we pursue. Every shot fired is a responsibility, and every hunt teaches us patience, precision, and respect for the wild. Wild boars may be fierce and destructive, but with skill, discipline, and teamwork, hunters can protect crops, wildlife, and livelihoods. If you've enjoyed riding along on today's adventure, stick with us. The next videos will take you even deeper into the heart of the hunt, with more high-stakes moments and lessons from the field. Subscribe now, turn on the bell, and join us for the next chapter in this ongoing battle for the land.